What we're going to do in today's class, this one is forget these questions exist at the moment, okay? And what I want to draw your attention to is, if I was squaring both sides, 3x equals, I don't know, 3x equals 5 as an example, okay? If I squared both sides just for the sake of squaring it, what would happen? So what you're telling me is that you said 3x by 3x, okay? And you said, oh look, that's 9x squared, and that equals 25. You're correct, right? Now, what happens when I do a similar question, except it's 3 root x multiplied by, I don't know, 5 equals 5. Same thing. Square both sides this time. 9 is still the same, because you square the 3, don't you? 3 by 3 gets you your 9. Now, what happens to the root x? It turns into x. So it's basically 3 root x by 3 root x by root x, yeah? So it's 9x equals 5, okay? That's another bit. Now, what happens if I had something like this? This time square both sides. Square both sides. 3 root x, 3 root x, and then, what'd you say? And then 5x by 5x. That's 25x squared, and you said that's 9x, right? No worries. Right. Let's make that one step harder again. 5 times x plus 1. Still 9x on the left. What happens on the right? It's technically 5 times x plus 1 multiplied by 5 times 5 times 5. And then it's x plus 1 squared. And then you could multiply it out as 25 into x plus 1 by, and then just multiply the two of them together, and you get 25 times x squared plus 2x plus 1. Multiply it in by the 25. 25x squared plus 50x plus 25. Is that alright? Got a bit harder there though for a minute, didn't it? Okay. So, with that in mind, we're going to stretch this to these questions here. Question 13 as an example. Move this over the other side. 2 times the modulus of x plus 1 equals the modulus of x plus 3. Like in the last question, square both sides. Now remember what we said earlier, you got to square everything. Technically speaking, it's going to be 2 by x plus 1 multiplied by 2 by x plus 1. Okay, I'll just colour these brackets I'll colour these brackets slightly differently. Alright, never mind. No, I won't. So what we're going to do here is this, guys. 2 times 2, 4. And then x plus 1 multiplied by the x plus 1 is x plus 1 squared. Now, do you see the simple way of doing it? Anybody see the simple way of doing it? Square the number on the outside, square what's in the bracket. Yeah? And on the other side, x plus 3 squared, multiplied out, 4 times x squared plus 2x plus 1. How did I get x squared plus 2x plus 1? Can anybody tell me? Where'd that come from? It came from x plus 1 multiplied by x plus 1. And where does the x squared plus 6x plus 9 come from? It comes from x plus 3 multiplied by x plus 3. Once again, that's something you can do at home, expecting to get it right every time. Okay? What happens next? Four x squared plus 8x plus 4 equals x squared plus 6x plus 9. Now what happens after that? Okay, 3x squared plus 2x minus 5. Everybody on board with how I did that? Brought over the x squared, brought over the 6x, brought over the 9. I took them all away from their counterparts. Alright? Then I get the reference number of minus 15. And what happens then? 5 and minus 3. So minus 3 plus 5. No bother. 3x squared minus 3x plus 5x minus 5 equals 0. After that, 3x bracket x minus 1 plus 5 bracket x minus 1 equals 0. 3x plus 5 bracket x minus 1 equals 0. X minus 1 does equal 0. X equals 1. 3x plus 5 equals 0. 3x equals minus 5. X equals minus 5 over 3. Yeah? Okay. Now, it'll be up later on. I just had to keep going. You can get it later on, okay? Any ideas for number 15? Any ideas for 15? Exactly. Yeah. 2 minus x equals a half x. Now remember what we said earlier? If you square 4x, what happens when you square it? It's 4 by 4, which is x by x, which is? This is exactly the same deal. Square 2 minus x. Get 2 minus x to be squared, otherwise known as 2 minus x multiplied by. And then on the outside, a half by a half. A quarter. You can check the calculator on that. A half by a half. 1 by 1 is 1. 2 by 2 is 4. And x squared, yeah? Multiply out. 4 minus 2x minus another 2x plus an x squared equals a quarter x squared. What are we not happy about here? The quarter. The quarter is not making things nice. Okay? Anybody have any suggestion on how to get rid of the quarter? So multiply both sides by 4. Maintains the balance, right? So we're going to multiply this side by 4 and then multiply this side by 4. 16 minus 16x plus x squared equals x squared. Oh. Okay. After that, 3x squared minus 16x plus. Okay. Reference number. Reference number? 48. Two numbers that will multiply to give you 48. 6 and 8. They'll add to give you 14. They won't make 16. Go fish. Try something else. Let's try another even number. An even number that's bigger than 6 and 8. 12 would be a good one. 12 and 4. 12 plus 4. So minus 12 minus 4 would be fantastic. So 3x squared minus 12x minus 4x plus 16 equals 0. Okay. And then after that, 3x bracket 4 minus 4 bracket minus 4 equals 0. And after that, x equals 4, yeah? 3x minus 4 equals 0. 3x equals 4. X equals 4 over 3. Okay. What we have next, guys, is 13, 15, and 18, okay? Take a wild guess, you square both sides. Now, on a much more primitive level, if I had 2/3 and I squared 2/3, what's the answer? 4/9. 2 multiplied by 2 on top, 3 multiplied by 3 on the bottom. On a very primitive level, if I had 2 over x and I squared it, what's the answer? 4 over x squared, because 2 by x by 2 by x, okay? So, expanding this type of logic onto our bigger system here, what's a half by a half when we square it? a quarter. What's the part to the left when we square it? It's going to be 2x plus 1 multiplied by, and the bottom. Then after that, multiply it all out. 4x squared plus 2x plus 2x plus 1. X squared plus 2x plus 2x plus 4. Do not start striking these off. Can anybody explain why I'm not allowed to strike them off? They're being added. Okay? If you don't understand that, something like this. 12 over 11, yeah? It's the same thing as 7 plus 5 over 6 plus 5. And somebody could come along and go, oh, cancel the 5s. Is 12 over 11 the same fraction as 7 over 6? No, you can't strike off additions. You can only strike off multiplications. Okay? In a converse scenario, 15 over 10 is the same fraction as 3 over 2. Why is it the same fraction as 3 over 2? Because 3 multiplied by 5 is 15. 2 multiplied by 5 is 10. The 5s are in multiplication of everything on the top and everything on the bottom. Hence, they're cancelable. 3 over 2 is your answer. Are we alright with that? It's very important that you understand the difference. So, at the moment, I'm cancelling nothing. So, I'm going to get 4x squared plus 4x plus 1. And then I'm going to have x squared plus 4x plus 4. Okay, what's the problem here? They haven't got the same denominator, do they? So how would I give them the same denominator? That's this side before. And then you said it doesn't have the x squared plus 4x. And then... Good. And then what can I do to this? Because they have the same denominators. 16x squared plus 16x plus 4 equals x squared plus 4x plus 4. After that, bring it over one side. 15x squared plus 12x. That's it. It's one of those ones. And it is how to finish it off. Divide by 3x bracket 5x plus 4. 3x equals 0. And x plus 4 equals 0. 5x equals minus 4. Minus 4 over 5. Okay. Now, brings us on to the next type. Okay. The next type of question, I'll do the hardest one. I'll do 24. Okay. If a number, as an example, if x equals the square root of a number, any number. If I say 25 as an example, yeah? What's the square root of 25? 5. Okay. What happens if I square both sides? 25. When you square a square root, it's like an undo button. They undo each other. Okay? So when you square a square root, it will disappear. So, as an example, 2x minus 7 equals the square root of x squared minus 3x minus 1. Take a wild guess on what to do next. Square both sides. You can't just take away the square root sign. You have to do something that the same thing to both sides. Same thing to both sides is squaring it. Okay? So 2x minus 7, 2x minus 7, bracket x squared minus 3x minus 1. 4x squared minus 28x plus 49. I'm going to bring all these over to your side straight away. Minus x squared plus 3x plus 1 equals 0. How many x squareds do I have left? 3x squared. How many x's do I have? How many numbers do I have? 50. Reference number? 2 numbers. 15 and 10. And then you're going to do what we always do. 3x into x minus 5 minus 10 into x minus 5 equals 0. 3x minus 10, x minus 5 equals 0. X equals 5. 3x will equal 10. X equals 10 over 3. Okay.